Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 9 of Direwolf20's OmniFactory Let's Play series, where I'm cooking up a bunch of Certus quartz. You know why? I'll tell you why. Because I want to try and get an A system going. I think it's doable, even this early in the pack, which is cool because there's so much automation that this pack is built around. I'm excited to have that option, right? To be able to automate all the things. Also, I made the obsidian furnace, which you can tell. Pretty neat little device here. Basically, it's 2 ore smelters at a time. So that's cool. Basically, and it runs as fast as a diamond. So it's basically like 2 diamonds. The only thing I liked is diamonds had more slots for fuel and inputs and outputs. But aside from that, yeah. Knowing what this is, I might have wanted to stick with 2 diamonds rather than 1 obsidian because it doesn't auto split. But it's still pretty good. It's not bad, let's put it that way. It's not bad. So I got myself a bunch of Certus quartz. What I was thinking I would do is get this autoclave working today. Do I want to just throw like a water thing in it, and would that be sufficient? Because we could make another infinite water source, right? Which produces 1 millibucket per tick of water constantly. But I'm not sure if that's going to be sufficient. So what I want to do is borrow... Maybe I'll borrow this dude and see how slow that is, and then see if there's like another water source option, right? So you're filling up, so I could throw you in there. And how much water is required to this? 250 millibuckets? Okay. So like you're going to start processing... And you're going to be pretty slow if that's where you're at. Not super quick, really. So really I need to double this a little bit more, right? So this guy works on a single dynamo down here, but he's really considerably slow. Now the Infinite Water Source Mark II just needs a bronze ingot and 8 of these. So 8 of these would be 48 wrought iron plates, which isn't bad. It's really not, considering the amount of resources I just went and mined. I did a lot of mining between episodes. You might see another chest here. I've done a lot of mining. You know, not a bad amount. There's a healthy amount of ores in here that I went and mined up between episodes, and we have a lot of magnetite. So I could throw like 2 stacks into this dude. So you, by default, going like that, right? So that would get me like 2 stacks of iron. So I could just, you know, get this cooking if I wanted to. And actually what I'll do is this. And that feels pretty good. And then we can come back that much. And then we theoretically would have an autoclave that's constantly receiving water. There may be other ways to do this, right? Because we, I think, have fluid... Let's see, what are some other options for fluid, right? I see there's logistic pipes in this pack, by the way, so that's interesting. I'm curious to see how well that works. So while I'm waiting for that stuff to cook up, let's get a conductive iron cable so I can test out charging Certus quartz like this. 0 AE out of 1.6 AE. So I'd hoped this would work. If it doesn't even look like it connects, so that's a thing. So what we could try is to see if you'll connect to this kind of power. That's working. That's what's up. Hooray! Charged Certus quartz. Yay! That's nifty. All right. I'll take that. Right, and then you'll drain, and then you use power, and everybody's happy. Sweet. Hey, guess who has charged Certus quartz, guys? Dire does. So now if I want to make this into Fluix quartz, we just drop it in there with water, redstone, and nether quartz? Okay. So can I just smelt that nether quartz ore that I have? I believe that is the case. Nether quartz ore. I saw a little bit of it. I wanted a full stack if I could. Nether quartz ore, nether quartz ore. Nice. Let's do 2 stacks. That should get me a healthy amount of nether quartz ore, right? Because I get 2 per smelt, so that's sweet. All right. and then some redstone, right? In a pool of water. And that gets us Fluix. Hey, we just happen to have a pool of water right outside. Huzzah! So you, and you go in. Oh, you know what else I made between episodes? A magnet. Boop, boop, boop. Sweet. I think it would be easier to do that in a single water. But hey, we got Fluix Crystals, so I'll take it. Cool. So there we go. A little crafting later. A little compact infinite water source here. You sit there, buddy boy. Yeah, whatever. And you should be filling pretty quickly. Do you not auto output like our buddy, the not compact one? Or do you have a sidedness to you? You do have a sidedness to you. Interesting. A sidedness, you say. So back is bad? Explain. Hey, cool. Lists the number 1 for a number of buckets of water. That's nifty. Where's that wrenchy dude that I've got? I've got a wrenchy dude around here somewhere. Didn't I have a wrenchy dude around here somewhere? Where's that other wrench? I had one. I know I did. Did I have to use it in a recipe at some point? Is this the one? This might be the one. If I do that, will you allow water to go in? Doesn't look like it. I think that's kind of the sidedness, right? Interesting. Trying to understand exactly how this works. But my thought would be if I placed it the right way, I might be able to get it to work from behind, right? So if instead we placed it like this, would that work? 640, I think that works, right? 1280, yeah, now we're cooking. That works. All right, I'll take that. It just needs to be placed the right way, that's all. Okay. And let's not forget that this thing can eventually, like, this isn't gonna always be using water, right? So eventually he can feed other things that need water. So guys, I think the next thing I wanna make is item ducts. Or item conduits, yes, these guys. Haha, noted. So to get this, we need pulsating iron, which is an alloy smeltery of pulsating dust and iron. Guess who has a bunch of pulsating dust? Your buddy Direwolf20. That's who. The one thing I don't like about this bronze chest, aside from it occasionally getting stuck, is I can't mouse wheel and I can't middle click. So that's a bit of a bummer. But we combine this with this, and we get that. Cool. And then we can take this stuff, and we take this thing, and we run it through this, and we've got the option to make item ducts now. Right? How cool is that? That's super cool. And the reason I want to make item ducts is because I want to automate charging of Certus quartz, right? So to do that is pretty straightforward. You guys have probably seen me do a similar process in the past, right? What we do, item transfer achievement, yay! Is something along these lines, right? We get a chest because the Certus dude is pretty smart, right? With its smartness. The charger is smart. It will take care of some of these things for us. So what we want is not here, because I placed this in the wrong spot. Right? This, on the down, will be insert on brown, extract on green, and on the east will be insert on green, extract on brown, right? So brown out, brown in, green out, green in, right? And we put this in here, and it does the thing. Whoops, did I want to do that? There's charged, right? And then here should be extract on brown. Insert on brown. Shouldn't that work? I feel like that should have worked. It's working. Ta-da! Look, it works! Hooray! What up? That's pretty cool. So there's a little bit of automation for us, right? Little automation going on. Little good times had by all. Let's snag... Hey, can I grab water out of you? Come on, infinite water source. Be a pal and let me have water. What good is an infinite water source if I can't right-click it with a bucket? Test, test, test. Speaking of right-clicking things, let's harvest our food. And a little bit of sugarcane while we're here. Alright, so you guys go away. I can't middle-click my player's inventory while I'm inside that thing either, and it's a little frustrating. Right, so then in here, we put our water. Right, we get these dudes. And then it's boop, boop, boop time. Clearly we need a little more redstone, but you get the idea. Cool. Alright, so that's Fluix Crystals under control. My first taste of automation, and I'm super hyped. Alright, speaking of automation, guess who's ready for an energy acceptor? So we need a Fluix plate, which is a hilarious thing. We need 4 of them. We need 4 electrical steel plates and an LV machine hull. So we do have to get electrical steel, which I don't think we are quite ready to get, or can we get electrical steel at this point? I think we can, actually. Electrical steel might be attainable with the machines we already have. According to the quest book, it is, at least. We need an alloy smelter of steel ingot and silicon dust. That ain't so bad. Where'd we get silicon dust from again? We can get that from pulverizing silicon ingots, or silicon plates, or blocks of silicon. Silicon ingots come from what? Smelting silicon dust. Blast furnace packager. Okay, cool, 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 cool. Centrifuge. I think clay is what we centrifuged to get silicon dust. I'm pretty sure that's true. Whatever that is. See, it's funny because it's not showing that as an option. But I feel like we totally got this silicon from electrolyzing clay gave us silicon. But when I say, show me the recipes for silicon... Okay. No, we were looking at the centrifuge, the electrolyzer, that's right. I still remember it being hard to find clay in here. It was 7 clay, right? Hey, is that redstone? It is. And we get 1 silicon from it. Good to know. Good to know. I wonder if there's a better way to get... with, like, maybe one of the ores that I already have that I don't care about as much. Right? So I think I need a lot of clay, if I'm not mistaken here. There looks like there's some other ways, but I'm not loving most of them. Nothing that jumps out at me like, ooh, that's better. So I'm thinking clay is probably my route for now. There might be a better route to silicon, I don't know, at some point in the future. But at least for now, clay is it. So I made myself an excavator from thermal. And it does a 3x3 like a hammer. And we'll be back in a few when I get some clay. You know, I might have spoken a little too soon about clay being the only option. It's definitely an option, but I might have found something that would work. So you... 3 of those becomes 2 silicon dioxide in the electrolyzer. So this doesn't work with cobble, but it does work with smooth stone. I assume it works with smooth stone. It works with smooth stone bricks, right? How, stone dust... Centrifuge, not electrolyzer. Mixer, macerator, autoclave, smelter. Do I not have a centrifuge yet? I may not have made a centrifuge yet. That might be the problem. Would a centrifuge be hard? Doesn't look terrible. Should we try that? Should we try a centrifuge? Maybe I'll hold off on that one for now. What I'm going to do instead... is stick with my clay plan. How fast can you pulverize clay? Pretty quick. Cool. So how about we let that happen, and then we turn 7 dust. Is it the electrolyzer that does it? I believe that's the case, right, for silicon? I like that plan. Okay, and that gets us some silicon, and then we'll kind of go from there. Stone dust might be an option too once I get a centrifuge, though. So that's not terrible. So silicon dust, among other things, which are nice to have, right? So I'll take that. Yeah, I'll take that for sure. So let that cook, do its thing. All right, guess who's got electrical steel? Booyah. So 4 of those. And electrical steel, not too bad to make right now. Maybe better, right? So that means, boop, 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 we can make this, right? Given an LV machine hull, which we should be able to make given some of these, right? So like, boom, where's my wrench? Boom, there's my wrench. Yoink, yoink. You guys. And I'll do this out here at this one. Energy acceptor. Oh my! Quest complete. Hello. Hello, applied energistics potentials. Wow, look at all this stuff. Turns crystal seeds into pure crystals. Yes, it does. Crystal growth chamber. So that's... Is that required to unlock the next chapter? That gives me terminals. So FYI, I don't know if I mentioned this yet, but applied energistics in this pack is like Sky Factory in that there are no channels. So you can have as many channels as you want, right? So if we look at applied energistics, we have access to the energy acceptor. There's no controller. See, no controller? I don't think there's a controller. And if we look at the cables, that's a lot of pages. You'll see that there's Fluix cables, just the basic ones, and covered ones. But there's no smart cables and there's no dense cables. Cool? To my knowledge. Works for me. Hey, this is surprisingly easy to make. That's way cheaper than crystal growth chambers usually are. That's like nigh on makeable right now, except that it's not because this is different. Dark steel rods. That's still doable, right? Pop over to this dude, dark steel rods. Bada bing. Clear that out, do that, bing, 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 and everybody wins. Sweet. Just need a little bit of charged Certus, of which we have some, cooked up down here. Thanks to automation. Oh, yeah. And then just an LV machine hull, and we're done. Yes, please. More wrought iron. Always with the more wrought iron. I should really just, like, knock out a stack. I forget if I recently made a bunch of wrought iron, but I don't think I did. But very soon we're going to have an AE system. And that, my friends, could be awesome. So you get in there and do that. You've got this thing going. So now we should be able to make the crystal growth chamber. Oh, yeah. Now, you want me to get the 3 of each seed incomplete and then the 3 of each seed pure, right? So that shouldn't be too problematic, right? Because it's just sand and whatever stuff. So Certus quartz dust, nether quartz dust, and Fluix quartz dust. So we've got in our resources over here, Certus, nether. Let's do a stack of each if I can. Would that be... Maybe half a stack. I feel like that's a nice number, right? And do I just macerate all you dudes? So like you and a pulverizer equals Fluix dust. You and a pulverizer equals nether quartz dust. And you and a pulverizer equals Certus quartz dust. So let's start with 4 of each. The one thing that stinks is the Greg Tech machines I've noticed definitely don't let you, like, mouse wheel in and out of them. Won't be too much of a problem once we get full-blown automation going, but you get the You can see why that might be difficult. Bejeweled 2, huh? Okay. So 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then I'm assuming that you need to be powered by way of energy acceptor, right? So like if I popped this dude down and popped this guy here, he would start being ready to be charged up. And you're growing? No, because you don't have any battery. Okay. You need fuel. 100% need fuel for him. Let's get some more wood cooking. You can be more wrought iron plates for now, because we clearly would like more of that. And then you're glowing? You're blinking. Blinking a little bit. Blinking a little bit. Yeah, we're definitely going to need more power soon. That's going to clearly need to be a thing, right? But the point is that it works, right? I wonder if there's an energy cell. Alloy smeltery can make a leadstone energy cell. Oh, we need vibrant capacitor banks, which, all right. So we need some kind of basic capacitor bank. Power buffer and dark steel plates. Dark steel plates are within range. Basic capacitors are probably within range. These guys are totally within range. We can do this. We can make capacitors, right? That's not a bad idea. We should list that as a to-do item. So you sit here and grow these guys, right? Does he use power when he doesn't have anything going on? Does he feel like he's using power? He might be. I can't tell if he uses power or not. Hey you. Yeah, I'd like to know if you're using power or not. We'll keep that in mind that he might be. He might use power whether or not he's growing something. With that in mind, let's look at making a capacitor bank. So for this, I think we had quests a little ways back. We should now... Didn't I get... Oh, I didn't make an ender pearl yet. That's a diamond and ender dust, right? And an alloy smeltery, was it? Looks like it. So that'll complete that quest. Cool. Which also will probably allow me to complete item conduits quest. Cool. You want one item conduit. Cool. Claim all the rewards. Huzzah. Now I could have sworn that at some point we unlocked, yeah, basic capacitors, basic RF capacitors. So for you, wow, that's a lot of steps. Well, it may not be that many steps. Electrical steel nuggets, vacuum tube, and 1x tin wire. That's not bad. How are we over here? We might be able to do that. Because we made a few extra electrical steel, right? So if I wanted to make you, we just need tin wires, which just needs some tin to go through the wire mill. And while that's cooking, let's get you ready to go. Well, not ready, but keep him working. Cool. How about a dozen for now? Right, so then your only job, whoops, would be to make this, which needs copper wires. Which we have plenty of for now. 2? We're ultimately going to need 4, so we want more of this. Get as many of those as I can, right? That's what I'm going to basically hammer that out as. And then lock you down. Sweet. Cool, 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 cool. You're a resource. Sure, why not? Because what I'd like to have is a capacitor that can do both, basically. So claim that dude. Grains of Infinity is a thing I can make. And then a wired charger will become available to me. But instead, I want to make the basic capacitor bank, right? So basic capacitor bank is going to require 4 dark steel plates, which we have 1 dark steel left. That was obsidian and steel, right? I believe. So for that, we're going to want... Let's just make like 16 of them. Does that sound like a good number? Yeah. Yeah, I like 16 as a number. Do we have one of those masher dudes still? This thing. Cool. And steel was wrought iron. Which we definitely want the steel plates, for sure. But we also want more wrought iron. I'm going to do half a stack. I'm going to hang on to this, because that thing down there needs more fuel. That's enough to get ourselves some steel. Whoops, wrong thing. This thing. Yeah, now we're cooking. Back in a minute when that's all cooked up. All right, dark steel done. The 4 basic RF capacitors done. And now I just need a power buffer, which is 4 iron, 4 red alloy, and a block of redstone. Seems easy enough. Let's get 4 iron plates going. Actually, I think we have 4 iron plates, so I'm just going to snag them. And then red alloy plates, was that the copper one? I think it is, right? Red alloy equals copper and 4 redstone? Yeah, that's cool. So copper. I should probably like whip up more of this stuff, but it's all good. That should be fine. Cool. So you guys compress. I feel like a crafting table would suit itself well in this room. Wouldn't it? Shouldn't I have a crafting table in here so I don't have to run out all the time? Seems like a good idea to me. Are you done? Yeah, you're pretty done. So you should be done-ish. What have we stuck it in the roof? Haha, that's cool. Dara's easily amused. You should know that by now. Those are 4 iron plates. Didn't I get those? No, those are tin plates. Oh, well, there's your problem. I thought those were iron for some reason. Cool. So that'll cook. That'll make that. So are we questing-wise? I don't want to be missing any quests. I don't think so. Easy peasy. So this way we have a capacitor that'll store RF for us, as well as store, you know, not RF. The CEF thing stores not RF. This will store RF. And to be clear, you can upgrade to a basic inventory charger. No energy crystal needed. Or an advanced capacitor. Sweet. The alternate method for making this is there is no alternate method. You just need 2 capacitors and some electrical steel plates and a double-layer capacitor, which needs energetic alloy, which requires a blast furnace. Good to know. Quest complete. Capacitor bank. Sweet. So how do we want this to work, right? So we don't want this here, no mores. What I'd really like is to relocate all these shenanigans. Can you do? You can. Awesome. Awesome. And you, I would probably need more conductive energy conduits, right? But what I'm thinking is, I should be able to move you up 1, right? Yeah, I should be able to do that. In fact, I might want to put you here. Like, I think what I'm going to do is clear out a little bit of this area. Let's use this as a soaring chest for a minute. Zoink, zoink, zoink. Soaring chest for the win! Make sure to hang on to probably a little bit of you, which I'll need more of. But that shouldn't be hard to make, because I think we can make conductive iron relatively easily here if we don't already have it. Let's get 15 of you guys cooking. That should be conductive iron for us, right? How do I want to handle the capacitoriness of this? So like, let's take you guys. Alright, it's time to test. Oh, good. You don't destroy the machine. I took the gamble, and I won. Yay. Hooray. Right? Let's take you. I'm just going to move everything today, aren't I? So what I'd like, ultimately, is... How do I want this laid out? That's the question, is how do we want this laid out? Do I have my bucket? I do. I'm probably going to want to move you. Cool. What if we had our basic capacitor here, right? And your job would be to output out the back. We're going to need more of these redstone conduits now. Oh, out of power. That's right. I did destroy your power source, didn't I? Bad direwolf. Can I access you there? I can. Nice. Got power now? Yeah, you do. So, like, let's just get a few of these, because I know we're not feeding power into this thing, and I need to be a little power conscious. Right? But basic wire mill, that should come down to 6 of those. And that is hopefully enough just to get us started with a better approach to stuff. Right? So you could do things like, you could be my power acceptor here. That seems cool, right? And then you would be the steam dynamo, which for the time being would feed water in this way. Yeah. And coal. And you're still producing more water than you're using, right? Yeah. So you're getting juice, you're feeding into there. So if we were to remove you, what's the deal? Let's remove you too, right? At some point, you're going to start filling up with power, right? And then the question is, if you've got no work to do, are you draining energy? You don't seem to be. You're still at plus 40. You're still at plus 40. So even with no work to do in the crystal growth chamber, you're not draining power. Now, the other thing we're going to want to have is our charger here. Now, this isn't going to live here forever, but that we should see like negative going on. Well, it breaks even almost, but then it goes back to 40. So again, not using power at all times, right? Then we hook this guy back up, and we're losing power at a pretty rapid rate, obviously. We're basically breaking even right now because all our energy is going into these batteries. Because I use these machines up here more than I use the machines down here, right? Now, at some point, we're going to need to prioritize this a little differently. What we really need to do is ramp up our power gen. One steam dynamo running off charcoal ain't going to last me for very long. So we want to be cognizant of our limitations, as it were. But aside from that, I think we're pretty cool. Yeah, I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. Not bad for a start. Also not bad for an end, which is where we're at. So the end of the episode has arrived. Darwell20 signing off. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We've got the foundations in place now, right? So we've got that stuff. Let's claim all our rewards. The next things for us to do are to make the things we need to access our items on a single screen. And then we'll have access to an enemy chest at some point. I have to really make an enemy chest? I hate making those, because you really don't need them. Unless there's a reason in this pack, which there might be, because I don't know. We'll find out. For now, Darwell20 signing off. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. We'll come back next time, have more fun, maybe get an A system going relatively soon. Who knows? For now, take it easy.